So hello, beautiful tribe, and welcome to Magic Month of December. I can't believe we have made it to the last month of 2024. I hope that you are all doing really, really well. And if you haven't met me before, my name is Karila, and Magic Month is actually my oldest webinar. I've done it for years and years and years, and it's an energy forecast um, for the month ahead. So it gives you astrological and channeled and energetic insights into the month ahead so that you can use that information to know the best times to manifest, to understand the cosmic processes that we are being carried by, to empower yourself, and of course, to be in the magic. And you know what? I actually, because we're in this time of great change, and especially right now, we're in what feels a bit like a birth canal, where like everything is being compressed as we're moving through this massive planetary shift that is one of the greatest planetary shifts that we will, if not the greatest, that we will ever experience in our lifetimes, because all of the gods of change, which are the outer planets, and they're called the gods of change because when they move, big change happens. All of them are changing signs. Like the first one has started last month, and all of them are changing signs within a very short period of time. In fact, it has never been seen astrologically before that um, these planets all change in such a short space of time, so close to each other. And so we really are in this birth canal from one reality to another, from the old world to the new earth. And I don't know if any of you are feeling that, but um, for me, how I'm experiencing it is like it's like there's less time, it's like everything is being squeezed. And because of that, I was actually like, I don't know about doing Magic Month anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. I've done it for years. Maybe I shouldn't do it. And then so many people were asking me about where Magic Month was, and I was missing it. And so I've started it again. Because it is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly useful. And um, yeah, it is incredibly important, especially in these kind of times, to really understand what we are what we are going through, and the energies and the magnetic currents that are carrying us. And so um yeah, Magic Month is continuing after me having 2 months off. Um and yeah, everything is changing. And the other thing I was going to say is that I really love my webinars to be co-creative, particularly Magic Month. So please do, if you're listening live, share and use the chat to say everything you know, to experience, to share what you understand about the astrology and the energy, and co-create this webinar with me, because it is a tune-in. That is what we're doing, is we're tuning in to the month ahead. And so when you're ready, let's begin with a meditation, and then we will go into the forecast. And I will say that December is such a busy, active month astrologically. Like it is, yeah, it really is a kind of go, 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 go month. And it's quite exciting. There's lots of really wonderful things. about December. So I'm excited to share the forecast. So when you're ready, closing your eyes and feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing. And experiencing your breath deepening. And invite your mind and the rhythms of your body to slow down, softening into this now. And really take this next couple of breaths to come into reverence for this moment, this very minute. That will never, ever, ever be the same again. The combination of all forms of life that are happening. In kaleidoscopic expression. Never quite make this moment again. And as you breathe, in awe, in reverence, in wonder, Notice what has changed in your inner. As you open your heart to the energy of December 2024. Noticing what you perceive, what you experience about these energies. What does your intuitive and instinctual system understand about Magic Month of December 2024? Maybe you are getting a sense, a download, an impression. But notice what you intuitively understand. And when you're ready, open your eyes and share. If you're listening live, or you can journal for yourself if you're listening in the future, share about what you're understanding. Me just connecting to the energy, it feels very high frequency and energizing and clear. And yeah, I agree that it is about being ready to go and saying yes. And yeah. And so astrologically, it's very busy this month. It really is, you know, one of those months where there's like astrological things happening pretty much consistently through the month. Um, and I agree as well, by the way, with what you guys are saying about it being about finding your center and everything becoming real and authenticity. I'm loving the offerings and the contributions. And then when I was tuning into it in general, it's about it's a reorientation. And that means that there might actually be some grief, because my guides like to say that grief is the process of reorientation. But it's also a month of clarity and path and new direction and new beginnings and opening up your heart to the impossible and believing in it and aligning with your truth. And in a way, I would say getting ready to go. Like some of you have already said that it's about leveling up, um, and really meeting the parts of our life the choices that we're making, the thoughts and the words and the actions that we're doing that are costing us energy, so that next year we can be full power, so that we can be full of energy. And yeah, it's about leveling up. It's about orienting into your next level. And I think what's most significant about the month is, well, there's several significant things actually. I don't know if it's the most, but those of you that are used to Magic Month will know that I believe that whatever happens at the beginning of the month really it really tells us what the month is about. And what's happening at the beginning of the month is also happening at the end of the month. We have a new moon. We have two new moons. So we have a black new moon at the end of the month. And so what we started the month with on the 1st of December, yesterday, is the Sagittarius new moon. And Sagittarius is all about Sagittarius is the centaur. It's the mythical being. It's about going beyond our humanness in many ways. It's about going for it's about making your big dreams come true. It's very much about optimism, and there's also and faith and ambition in a joyful and celebratory I can way. It's a very, very energizing, and energizing of your dreams and your goals and your higher self. And what's beautiful is the new moon was also opposite Jupiter. And so everything Jupiter touches, it expands. So you've got this like amplification of Sagittarius. And, like I said, whatever happens at the start of the month kind of sets the main intention for the month. And so a new moon at the start of the month means new beginnings, new leaf, new chapter. And with it in Sagittarius, it's new beginnings for the next level of your path, for the next level of your faith, for your ability to go get. I think many of us, because we've been knowing that we've been entering this birth canal, have felt quite lost and quite like, I don't know which way I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. And so this month is where it all starts to fall into place and land. And even if we haven't got there yet, we start to pull the arrow back. We start to get ready. And then one of the most beautiful things that's happening right now is the Antares Stargate portal. So 2nd to the 4th of December, and I will see if the guides bring anything through about it at the end of this forecast. We have the Antares portal, and Antares is one of the 4 royal stars. And the royal stars are like the brightest stars in our sky. They kind of represent in our astrology, I guess, our relationship with soul, our ability to embody our soul. And in fact, Antares is said to be where souls go after they leave their bodies. It's to do with the afterlife. And when your soul goes to Antares, it's about reflection on everything you achieved, on your regrets. It's about getting clarity on what truly mattered in your life and learning and growing. And so when Antares is aligned with the sun or conjunct with the sun, which is the royal star gate, we have this opportunity to be closer to our soul and closer to the reason why our soul is here, why our soul is alive. And this is also happening at the start of the month. So to me, it's like the new beginning is about coming closer to our soul, coming closer to our soul's meaning, our soul's reason. And Antares is also known as the heart of, it's in Scorpio, it's in Scorpio, and so it's known as the heart of the Scorpion. And when I was tuning in about this, I was like, oh, I suddenly understood this Royal Star Gateway. I was like, this is the gateway that invites you. Scorpio is like going deep. It represents going deep, 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 deep into the shadow, deep into your passion, deep into yourself. And in a way, I understood that this gateway is an invitation to open your heart, open the wounds in your heart that feel unopenable. Transcend the scar tissue of the heart in a way. The heart opening that happens when we transcend our own limitations. When we open our heart so fully and surrender so much that there's no resistance. And I feel like, yes, the gateway is an activation of this. And like I said, we'll see if the guides bring anything through. But I also feel in some ways that this is the instruction for the month ahead. It's like, can you actually open your heart beyond your own patterns? Can you receive it all? And this is the orientation, the reorientation, and why I said I feel like there'll be some stages of grief within this month, because sometimes we just have to ask ourselves, well, what would I do if I didn't have this fear or this pattern or this block or this? What if I just didn't come through this? Or I came through it so much that I opened up into it and it no longer was a resistance or a block or a something in the way. And I allowed the wound or the need or the fear to open up and be met by the divine, by my soul, by this time of great change, and be provided for. And so that's what I feel the month is about, is it's instruction from the beginning of the month. And then what happens is very soon, as soon as on the last day of the Antares portal, we have, on December 4th, we have Mercury in retrograde opposite Jupiter. And on the same day, we have the Sun square Saturn. And so when Mercury is in retrograde, it's all about, Mercury is the planet of communication. So it's all about turning inwards and intuition and communicating with the depths of yourself, with your true self. Jupiter expands this. And so the kind of recipe for this month as it's cosmically unfolding is, you've got to turn inward. You've got to honor the inner with the outer. That's how you get ready. And Saturn is about law and order and karma. Sun is about truth. This is about aligning with our truth. And as we do this in this first week of the month, if we really connect through this gateway, which to me, the Royal Star Gateways are one of the most powerful things in astrology. If we really connect in through this gateway, and then what's going to happen is by the 5th, which isn't very far away, but also throughout the month, because like I said, the first week of the month shows you the month ahead. Then we have the Sun conjunct with Mercury retrograde, and that means that there's going to be a breakthrough. This is called a Mercury Kazemi. It's when there's a turning point. It's like the inner wisdom is suddenly a light bulb moment. So whatever, in a way, it's like when you open up the wound under the Antares gateway, when you open up your heart anyway and let it be met, is going to be met around the 5th of the month, is going to be met through this. It's funny, the image that keeps coming to mind is like Clark Kent ripping his shirt off and becoming Superman. That's what it feels like astrologically, is the invitation and the currents this one. And so all of these days are powerful days to be journaling, to be tuning in, to be listening, to be doing any kind of heart practices. And then straight after that, and this is really, really, really significant, we have Mars going into retrograde. And Mars retrograde, so for those of you that don't know, a retrograde is when a planet appears in our sky as if it's going backwards from the normal direction that it goes in. And when that happens, it means that what it normally does is inversed. It goes inwards rather than externally. And Mars retrograde is the planet that retrogrades the least in our sky. So it's very significant when it retrogrades. And Mars is the warrior energy and the kind of go-getting energy. And when it retrogrades, we have this amazing opportunity to see and harmonize where we are leaking our energy, because Mars is all about energy. So we get to see where we're wasting our energy, where we're leaking our energy, where that which doesn't serve us is costing us energy. And that can actually be a really hard thing to see. What happens in Mars retrograde is it's magnified to the point that you cannot not see it. We will already be seeing and sensing some of this energy happening in our lives. Why this is so important right now is because my guides have gone on for years about the fact that we're moving from thoughts, words, and actions that are based in story to thoughts, words, and actions that are based on energy. So we're moving from a consciousness that is about creating out of story to a consciousness that is about following the energy. And this retrograde, because it's happening in this birth canal, and especially if you work it, for me, it's the flip. For me, it's an amazing cosmic slide to really learn to become energy first, not story first. And if you follow the energy, you are going to align. If you follow the energy, you're going to be following the way of your soul, the way of your destiny. And what's so beautiful about this is because Mars retrograde is happening in Leo and then in Cancer, and they're both so heart-led. This is about following the energy in order to love yourself and in order to love others. It's like following the energy to fill your heart and fulfill your heart. And that's going to be happening from the 6th of December until February 25. So it's going to take us into the new year, which to me is the first year where we stop being about story and start being about energy. And so this is a really, really important recalibration retrograde. And what's so beautiful about it as well is obviously Mars is quite a masculine energy, it's quite a warrior energy. But on the 6th and the 7th, Venus is conjunct Pluto. And Venus represents the feminine to Mars's masculine. And Pluto is shadow and transformation, but is also power. And when I tuned into this, I was like, oh, so this retrograde is a flip out of the masculine warrior and into the feminine warrior. And the feminine warrior is one that really rides the currents of energy and actually receives energy in order to go get and in order to show up fully. And so this, other things that have been happening astrologically, there's been a lot happening that has been revealing and showing energy leaks and patterns that don't serve. And to me, this retrograde is very much an opportunity to start actually embodying, actually, with Mars in retrograde, it's like, oh, I don't have to push through the fact that this is draining me. It can be really, really empowering if we follow the energy and if we surrender to the feminine. And if we do, this is like the map, the sky in December is just very, very instructional because we're in such a pivotal, amazing moment. So if we do, then on the 7th of December, the sun is opposite Jupiter. And so it's like if you do follow the energy, if you do submit to the feminine, if you do open your heart anyway, then there's expansion. And at the same time, Neptune goes direct, and Neptune is dreams and the mystical and the liminal. And so what happens if you follow the energy is you finally get the clarity. And all of this happens in the sky and in our energy currents right in time for December 12th. And the 12/12, the 12/12 is one of those ascension days that is calibrate your year, embody it, arrive in it, become it, be it, ascend to it now. It's one of those days. And it's very much about the balance between the masculine and the feminine. One is masculine, feminine, two is feminine, 12/12, about the balance between the two. But what's happening is Venus on this day is opposite Mars. So that is magnified on this 12/12. It's like find your balance in order to complete. Slow down, be present, be sensual. Start to know when to use your masculine energy and when to use your feminine energy. It's very, very powerful day to do any kind of tantric practice, whether it's breath or kundalini or any or kirtan, anything that unites the masculine and feminine. It's also a very powerful day to reconnect to your year and really let it land. And then after that, the month does get to be a little bit more spacious. And so in the middle of the month, and this is also important to me when the moons are really centered like this, and you've got two moons either side, and right in the middle of the month, you've got the full moon. It's all about balance. And so right in the middle of the month, you have the Gemini full moon and Mercury going direct at the same time. And really, whatever happens in the middle of the month astrologically is like, this is the medicine. This is how you make all of those promises at the beginning of the month happen. And what you need to understand about Gemini is, firstly, Gemini is about communication. With Mercury going direct, that's about direct communication. The portal from your inner to your outer is your voice. Are you speaking the truth? And also, the twins, the Gemini twins, one is meant to be immortal and the other one is mortal. And if you think back to the Sag moon at the beginning, this is about you believing in your own soul, you believing in your own destiny, you believing beyond your wounds and speaking the truth. It's a powerful moon to start setting your intentions for 2025. And my advice for intentions for 2025 is about, can you show up full? Can you follow the energy? Also a very powerful moon for clarity. And also cosmic conversation. Not just speaking, but also listening. Sorry, I'm not quite clear on the question on invoice, but please do share more about it. And this makes me so happy because it's the start of the solstice, but on December 19th, we have Venus trine Jupiter. I mean, the two yummiest planets in our cosmos for humans are Jupiter and Venus. Jupiter's abundance and expansion, and Venus is love and sensuality. And with these two trine, with these two trine, it's 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 just blessings. It's like, in a way, the sky's saying, this alignment, this being full of energy, this being willing to open up beyond the wounds is gonna lead to blessings, especially for those of you that are connecting to the principles of the solstice. To the medicines of deep winter if you're in the northern hemisphere, to the brilliance of summer if you're in the southern hemisphere. And then, of course, on the 21st, we have the actual winter solstice. And then on the 27th, Venus is square Uranus. And Venus is love and sensuality, and Uranus is revolution. Sky is saying it's going to be, the revolution is love. And in many ways, this is how we get to love. beings, going beyond our story, reorientating into our potential. And then, and this is really significant as well, at the very end of the month, Chiron, one of the most important asteroids in astrology, Chiron represents the wounded healer, also a centaur, and represents the wounds that we never fully heal, the wounds that our whole life's work is healing these wounds. But Chiron's been retrograding since July. And Chiron's been retrograding in Aries. So the wounds that have been coming up in the Chiron retrograde are not moving forward, not having new beginnings, not being in leadership of your own life, not being self-responsible, not being energized. But also Aries, which is not Aries, Eris, as in Eris, who is the sister of Mars. She is the goddess, she's called Discordia. She's the goddess of chaos. She's also, the whole Chiron retrograde's been running alongside Eris. And so, again, we've had this masculine, feminine kind of wound journey within ourselves and really been facing who we are in chaos, facing who we are as leaders, facing where we're not moving forward. And as Chiron moves direct, that healing journey comes to completion. We are able, if we've done the work, if we've done the shadow work, if we've met ourselves, if we've faced ourselves, we are able to move forward. You know, one of the biggest blocks to our self-leadership is people pleasing. And also, then we're in the last few weeks of a south-north node journey from Libra to Aries, which is also about people, pleasing. So we've really had this astrological time of churning up all of these themes. And in the last few weeks, we're getting the dregs. We're getting the dregs of where our feminine power is self-destructive chaos, where our wounds stop us from moving forward, where we people please and lose our energy. And by the end of the month, we've come out of that, hopefully with all of the lessons and tools and realizations and liberation that will have happened if we actually carried and healed and nurtured ourselves through that journey. And then at the very end of the month, day before New Year's Eve, day before we enter the portal of the new year, we have a black new moon in Capricorn. And a black moon is the second new moon of the year. Capricorn is it's all about ambition as well. So, you know, this month is bookended by powerful new beginnings for your ambitions. But Capricorn's also about you will get there in the end. You can climb to the top of the mountain. You can do goats. Goat, you know, I live in Egypt and like you can see what goats do here. Like some of the things they can do. I've seen a goat like jump onto my wall. It's like amazing what goats can do. And they can scale the impossible. And this is really, you know, surprise yourself with how much you can do it, with how possible it is. And so that's the forecast. Cool, right? What do we think? Tell me, what do you think? Let me know. I would love to hear. I love it because as I'm talking about the forecast, it's just this beautiful, glorious, luminous light in December. And the card I've pulled for us is abundance. So this month, what you seed in this month becomes abundant. Because there's too much astrological. When you churn, you give energy to it. There's astrological churning. So if you just seed the old and stay stuck and all of that, you're going to make that abundant. Whereas if you orientate into your dream, you'll make them abundant. But there's abundance this month. And really, again, we've got to face the reality that false abundances of the collective right now are not abundant. And so let them be false abundances. Don't worry. Don't be bad. Don't be reckless. But don't be sucked into it. Instead, open up to your ability to receive, to your ability to lead, to your ability to become your next level. And true abundance is energy. The only reason we get upset in the winters of our financial abundance is because we feel like we're losing energy. The more energy you have, the more energy you sustain, the more you go for following the energy, the more abundant you're going to be. In every sense of the word, because manifestation requires energy. That is law, Lore. And so it is a powerful, beautiful, luminous, magical, amazing month. If you want to have some, well, firstly, I've got some things to tell you about, and then let me just move my light. So the first thing to tell you about is you're not too late if you want to join the the free gratitude challenge that is about reflecting on the amazing year that was 2024 and coming into gratitude. And each day there's a post about what to be great, asking you a prompt about what to be grateful for. And yeah, every year this challenge really does bring me into reverence and into gratitude for my year. And gratitude means to welcome. We're orientated. We need to welcome in what we want more of based on what we had like in the last cycle. So it's a really good time to be in gratitude for sure. And that's free. It started yesterday. You can still join it. That's the link. And then if you are in the UK or want to come to the UK, and want to take advantage of that amazing Jupiter, Venus blessing, gorgeous, just perfect energy that is happening around the solstice, and also help yourself orientate and be of service to the highest good and the greatest joy of all, always, and have lots of fun with your solstice in the.
Ik wil niet dat zij zich rot voelt,
You
want
are?
zij heeft het zo.
I don't think she was speaking to us. Then at the winter solstice, I'm doing a land work journey to Avebury called Living in Preciousness, which is all about coming out of survival mode and into soul mode, which means that you are precious, everyone else is precious, and all of life is precious. And we're working with some really beautiful medicines. We're working in the heart chakra of the world. You can feel how beautiful and gentle the frequency of this journey is. So that's happening. And the other thing to tell you about, because it is starting to get quite a lot of interest, and is starting to get booked. And I know lots of people last time were really upset that they couldn't come to it because it was sold out, is in May. Me and Grazia from Brighton Curtin are doing a retreat in Spain in this amazing retreat center and the land there is just, it's so magic. Like the mountains are gold. They literally reflect gold. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. And you do curtain under the stars and cacao and wild swimming, and the food's amazing, and there's loads of channeling, and it's bliss. And so that's happening over the May bank holiday weekend, but we only have 6 places left. So if you want to come on it, you need to book soon. And it's not up yet, but it's not up because Spirit's saying, wait. But there is going to be a journey in Egypt to the temples of Goddess Hathor over the equinox as well, over the March equinox. So those are Starlight's offerings that I wanted to tell you about. And I'm going to just open up now and see if the guides have anything to offer or to say about the Antares Gateway. And so closing your eyes. And feeling a column of light that is beaming in to the very depths of your heart. To the part of your heart that you close in a moment of extreme pain. And as this concentrated Antarian light beams in to this secret, clenched and private part of your heart, Understand that this is a part of your consciousness, a part of your system that has been causing you to think and say and do in order not to feel the same pain again. And whenever you think, say, do in order not to feel, you are creating an energetic resistance or deficit of energy. And as this Antarian light beams in to the wound, whether it is abandonment or judgment or betrayal, experience it. Softening now. Unclenching from being about not. Experiencing. And instead opening up. And receiving. Through this particular pain point. Receiving the light of your soul, which is never about not. And as you receive yourself, through this softening, Notice what you feel. Notice what is realizing. We say to you that the key to the reorientation and ready, set, go, go, go of this wonderful month is to actively and consciously and carefully recognize when you are thinking, saying, acting in a way that is about not feeling. And when you notice this, choose to open to feel all the way to your soul and back to your body. And as you do this, not just in your meditations, in your healings, in your journalings, but also in your thoughts and words and actions. All of the clarity and all of the energy you have been waiting for will just like that fall into place. We send you love and send you blessings for the last month of your year, which is so much more than simply the end of the year in your calendar. Breathing in love. Breathing out gratitude. Breathing in love. Breathing out gratitude, feeling the violet fire coming through your energy, transmuting any energy that doesn't serve or belong into love and into light. Feeling a golden rain shower of light. Taking any energy that's meant to go to the earth, to the earth. And a big beam of source light, taking any energy that's meant to go somewhere else. As an offering to the stars. As you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. And when you are ready, opening your eyes and coming in. Have a magical, magical month of December. Sending you all loads of love. Hope to see you in the gratitude challenge or in Avery. Big hugs, big kisses, big love. Mwah.